What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. That was entirely too enthusiastic. Entirely too enthusiastic. I don't know who she was. I don't know where she came from. Anyway, so welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sybil, also known as Trissy, which is what people usually call me. But I've been going by Sybil Mari now. So if you're from my channel before, when I did a whole branding shift, you probably know me as like a bunch of different names. I think I like Modestly Ratchet, Just Another Millennial. There was just a lot going on. And when I lived in my car, I was definitely going by Just Another Millennial. So as you can see by the title of this, I'm going to talk about living in my car, what it was like, things like that, whatever, kind of doing a little reflection. My hair is just not cooperating today. I was going to do hijab, but the thing is, my neck is killing me. Like, I can't even explain it. And the only thing that like is feeling decently good is just not having nothing, not feeling like I'm holding my head up. So today I was just like, let me just blow my hair out, and then that'll give me like 2 days of not turning it to twist, not doing this, not doing that, because regardless of going anywhere, I have to do my hair or it will fall off. And if you guys can tell, shorty coming through. So yeah, anyway, right now this is like, can we just talk? Like, can we just talk about the color of my hair for the record? This is natural. I have nothing in my hair, no color, no nothing. This is the first time in my life I think I've ever let my hair get this long, be natural. Last year I cut my hair all the way off. It was like right like there. I think it was like that short was kind of how I cut it. No, every time I'd be like, maybe I should cut it again. No, don't cut your hair, just leave it alone. We're just gonna leave it alone. So anyway, this is gonna be a new series on my channel, because sometimes in the morning I'm like, oh, I just want to chit chat, but I want to do content. So we're gonna call this Coffee with Sybil. So when I sit down, have my coffee, talk with you guys, yeah, and just like vibe out or whatever. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's so much pressure I put on myself for a lot of things, in YouTube by far the #1. So I gotta just start doing what feels natural to me. So bear with me as you watch my channel. I'm trying to figure out how do I constantly like connect all the things that I do, which is why my channel is called Sybil Mari, for the record. If you guys don't know, Sybil is some crazy girl with different personalities in a movie. I never watched the movie a day in my life, but everybody always is like, yo, you like Sybil, you remind me of Sybil, you remind me of Sybil, because I truly do have different personalities, and people who know me know I truly do have different personalities. It doesn't mean so much that like, you know the movie like Split, where people like split and the dude, he's just different people and can't like always remember stuff. Like, I'm not like that. I'm not like crazy. I just, through years of trauma and stuff, I've come up with a new personality. And I feel like Sybil Mari in itself is a different personality, in herself, not it. She is a woman. I need to, let's call her by her corrective pronouns. But no, I feel like Sybil Mari in herself is a different personality from me. And it comes from living in my car, for real. Like, it comes from not so much living in my car, but like this last year, it wasn't full of failures, I would say. It was just full of a lot of we'll say setbacks that like I wasn't anticipating, but like I believe in growing through a process. So I kind of don't like I be stressed, but I mean, it's all up to God. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of is out of my hands, so I don't stress myself out, if that makes sense. So like when I was living in my car, I was trying to film and do this and do that, but the thing was, I never planned to live in a car. Like, I did plan on living on the road. I eventually wanted to buy a van and, you know, all that. So I was working on being a minimalist and learning what I need as a person, and God was like, watch what happened. So yeah, anyway, this is just gonna be a little chit chatty video. You might want to pause, go get something to drink, chill, hang out. I'll try to cut it down, keep it under 30 minutes if possible. I talk a lot. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. I talk a lot. So that's just it, you know? So anyway, what happened? Me moving in my car. If you tuned into my channel. My car tour video, if you haven't watched it, it's down there, or it's on my channel, I don't know. I think, oh wait, I could do the things, it's right there. So my car tour video on my channel is one of the top viewed videos I have. I put no effort into this fucking video. When I tell you there is minimal effort other than editing in this video. And it's my top viewed video, and it stresses me out. Because I feel like all these other videos I'll be putting, like, why? What is the reason? Okay? So, since you guys seem to like that, we're just gonna go with the car stuff for a little bit. While I work on a house and work on this, but I thought about, you know, like, my message isn't so much about living in a car, it's more so about like being homeless, surviving being homeless, especially because the thing is, I think when we think right now with COVID going on, a lot of people might end up homeless, might end up sleeping on somebody's couch that ain't never been in that situation, and it's very trying on your mentality, and especially like the way you view yourself for real can be these kids. Why nobody no one was outside all week, bro. And as soon as I want to film, it's like, is it not a weekday? What are y'all doing? It's like 12:30 on Friday and everybody's fucking outside, and there's like 37 kids over there running around. I hope y'all can't hear them. If you can, too bad. I mean, one day I'll have my own kids yelling in the background, so whatever. But it's just like, damn, all this distraction now. Maybe I should have sat that way so I'm not being distracted. That's a lot of work. I'm not moving. But maybe do I look orange to y'all? I feel like I look very orange, but no, I don't wear makeup often, so when I do put on makeup, I'm like, who is that? Like, like, who is she? So let's talk about, you know, my car setup, things like that, how I was like living. I filmed this video the other night, and see what had happened was, the footage was shit. So I was just like, no, the footage was shit, the audio was shit, it was just shit, and I was kind of distracted. I mean, today I'm on like 3 days of not smoking weed, so bear with me. My attention span and irritability is tiny bit high, but we're working hard, and we are on 2 cups of coffee. So yeah, anyway, I moved in my car last summer. I'm thankful that it was actually the summer. The summer had its cons with it, but I'll take summer cons over winter cons any day. The summer, basically, it was just that it was hot and there was bugs. Winter, I do not like being cold, bro. Like, I'm trying to talk fast and get this done and get out of my office because it gets cold in here. My office right now is a studio filming space for me, as my channel is gonna grow, and this is my full-time job. So right now I've already committed 100% to YouTube, and yeah, so help me get monetized quick, please, because I don't know what else there is for me. Like, I'm not even joking. Everybody's like, oh, you gotta get a job, you gotta get a job. I'm like, I genuinely have no interest in doing anything else at all whatsoever. So if you're subscribed to my channel, please expect me to be a lifelong channel. If you're subscribing now and you're like, oh my gosh, I only got a couple videos, like, please expect me to be here forever. I've made this decision. Everybody in the world knows I want to do YouTube. All my friends and family have accepted the fact I'm going to be poor and homeless, as long as it means I'm not working for somebody. That's just how I feel. That's my vibe. That's it. So when I was living in my car, it was hard. It was a struggle, because like, as for work, you know, I was a graphic designer before getting in my car, but I had planned to adjust fully to YouTube. And moving into my car, like, who wants to film content when your whole family just kicked you out the fucking house? Nobody is talking to you. You have no family, all for just defending yourself, for the record. The reason I ended up in my car, I don't feel like talking about it like in detail, but just like a little, you know, trigger warning here, parent drama. Y'all know my parents are crazy. and I'm a grown-ass woman, so it's a lot different than if you're a teenager. When you're an adult and your parents be coming at you crazy, it's a lot of like, ma'am, sis, sir, bro, like, we ain't doing this. So long story short, I was living with my grandmother. My dad was really abusive my whole childhood. He has like authority issues where he thinks he is the authority of everything. But the problem is, growing up, when you separate yourself from your kid, you really don't know your kid. And I went through a lot of stuff growing up. My dad has no idea. Like, I've had to stand 10 toes with situations my dad would fold in, you know what I mean? So I'm living in my grand's house after like a divorce. I'm going through shit, whatever. And for a couple years, why you my only harasser? You the only person bringing me down. You the only person with something to say about everything I do. Like, you know, so there was just a lot going on, whatever. And it got to a point where he kept like, you could only buck at me so much. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I get real quick. And I just want to make that clear. Who I am on Twitter is the equivalent of having a conversation with me. So sometimes I might react to something real quick. I might go back and delete, but the chances are no, because I don't believe in saying something you're going to end up apologizing. Kanye. That's just me. You guys know Kanye 2020. I'm mad as hell y'all ain't vote Kanye. Now we don't. Anyway, but yeah, so for me, like, I'm not with the play. Ain't that what people say? Like, I'm not with the play. So my thing is, like, especially on Twitter, people be just saying whatever. And I'm like, yo, shorty, you know I would dead ass knock your teeth in, right? Like, in real life, now I'm super calm. I'm mellow. I don't really get into shit. But it's also because if you know me in real life and you have a conversation with me, you get that vibe right off the beginning to be like, she's not the type of person to fuck with. And it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm just mad aggressive, or I walk around like, yo, my shit don't stink, da. No, it's not that. It's simply, as soon as you try it, I'm gonna shut it the fuck down. Like, period. I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not with the bullshit. So you want to fight or you want to talk, period. Like, I don't do that. And 9 times out of 10, you don't want to fight me because I don't fight clean. Like, and I'm honest about that. Not like that I'm light skinned. I grew up, everybody talks about light skinned girls got it so easy. No, the fuck we don't. No, the fuck we don't. I was harassed most of my life just based off of being light skinned. I'm soft, or being biracial. You know, we raised like white girls and all that. Man, take all those stereotypes and throw them out the window when it comes to it. For real. This is gonna be a little all over the place. I know y'all are like, I thought she was gonna talk about her car, but to talk about living in a car, I gotta talk about me. I'll put the timestamp to when I actually start like talking about my car, maybe down there. If not, too bad, just deal with the video, skip forward, somebody else put it, I don't know. But yeah, this is my channel. This is how I'm gonna be. Don't call me Shiera talking about I'm rambling in my fucking video ever again in your life. My cousin did that, and it hurt my feelings. So I'm just saying that right now. Don't tell me I was fucking rambling, because this is me. This is how I talk. So anyway, yeah, like when I was living in my car, it was the end of years of bullshit, if that makes sense. So living at my grandma's house and all that, like with my dad, if I don't let somebody on the street disrespect me, what makes you think because I come from your sperm, you gonna do it? Like, bro, I've been feeding myself half my life. Like, fuck you talking about? You know what I mean? So we were getting to a point where I think my dad seen me as like getting weaker. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, she was married to this boy, letting him put his hands on her. Now she moving back in my mom's house. You know, this, that, and the third. Mind you, he lived in his mom's house too. But I'm moving back in there. He was like, oh, like, I think a couple days, here's just a little tidbits. This is over a couple years. So beginning, it was, my car got repossessed. As soon as I moved to my grandma's house, I forgot my car was out for repo, and my grandma's house was my address. So I parked my car in the alleyway. Car got repossessed or whatever, and I had like to use my grand's car for a couple of days. I had money coming in, so I was like, I got it. I'll be able to get my car right back out, but I just need to use, your car to get back and forth to school. I was in cosmetology school at the time. Literally, like, just went through the worst experience of my life with my ex-husband, like, ending us both in jail cells. That's a story for another day. So there was just a lot going on. Like, I'm literally in school bruised the fuck up right now bruised up underneath my clothes, underneath my hijab, like going through it. And I remember he was like, oh yeah, you walk around like your shit don't stink, da 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 da. And he was referring to me getting dressed and like putting on makeup. And I'm like, my nigga, you know what the fuck my career is? Like at this point, I was a hairstylist, makeup artist, you know, MUA, that, like all that. So I'm like, fuck is you talking about, bro? Like you talk about my bag, and that's one thing I don't do. We ain't gonna do that. So there was a lot happening starting at that moment, like right then and there. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? You know, so that was like, I think, the turning point. It had nothing to do with him talking, like he was talking about my husband at the time, crazy, this, that, and the third. But like at that point, it was like, yo, bro, don't you ever talk to me like that. You know what I mean? Especially because right before I moved in the house, the problem was I never called my dad for shit. Like anybody who knows me knows I don't call my dad for shit. So when I had to call him, it wasn't like, yo, I need you to come up here and help me get out the house type of thing. It was more so, I just want y'all to come help me move my shit, because if I stay in this house with him for another minute longer, I'm going to kill him. Like genuinely, I'm gonna kill him or he's gonna kill me. I don't know how this is about to turn out. I just gotta get my stuff out. We getting evicted today. Like I think I had the fucking flu. Like there was so much going on. So when I had called my dad that one time, homie head got big. So fast forward, you know, now like a couple weeks, I'm staying in my grandma's house. I had to use a car. I think it was like a week and a half, and this is the first thing out your mouth, the first chance you get. So I was like, nah, yo, stay on my life, bro. Like I don't care if we live in this house or nothing. Like you dead to me, fam. You know what I mean? So then there was like a little period after that. Like it was like he just kept coming at me, kept like me and my people who have ever been around me and my grandmother at the same time, you know, we argue. Like we argue non-stop. Me and my I'm literally like her little mini me in a lot of things. So we go back and forth, and it's not like people be like, oh, respect your elders. Like I do respect my grandmother. The problem is, as a woman, you know what I mean? Like there comes a point where you being my elder does not justify you being right in a lot of situations. So, and especially I'm very defensive when it comes to the men in my family. I play no games, like, because the women, we hold our own, you know what I mean? Like we truly hold our own in my family. We outnumber the men in a certain amount, and we're one of those like, mind your man's business, you know what I mean? Like stay in a man's place. Like we are those type of women. So like for us, it comes like, when it comes to the men in our family though, they call us to pull the fuck up. What are we calling them? So yeah, anyway, with my uncles and stuff, like my grandmother being their mom, for me, I'm like, why do you keep talking to them like that? You know what I mean? Like, why are you talking to them, talking down to them, you know, etc. And I have one uncle, she just kept talking crazy to it. And that one's like my heart. If I'm calling anybody, I'm definitely calling him. Like, he's literally gotten somebody's jaw wired for fucking with me, okay? So don't fuck with my uncle. I play no games about my uncle, right? I don't think he served time for that, so I ain't gonna say who and whose jaw got wired. I don't think he got booked for that or nothing. So I don't want them to hit him on no charges now. But anyway, yeah, so y'all know who I'm talking about. My town, y'all know which I'm gonna talk about. I will die for my uncle. But he do be getting himself in some situations. So me and him gonna have to talk first before I go die for it. But anyway, when it comes to my grandmother or whatever, I'm like, yo, stop talking to him like that. You know, and the thing is, because he's so big and so strong, and he's very like alpha male, like, sorry. I just had a moment laughing. Anyway, my uncle's big as shit. So my grandma kept fucking with him though. And I'm like, do you not, like, you don't see that this is actually harming him, it's actually hurting him, you know? And I'm like, okay, I see him doing certain things, acting out in certain ways. Like, he's a grown-ass man. So it's not like you're like, yeah, what you doing, da da da, but we're super close. Especially at this time, I just moved in the house, he just moved in the house. We both were literally going through really bad breakups, so we were leaning completely on each other, and we're both at this point the only Muslims at that time. So we're like, well, like, I have other Muslim family members, but me and him are the most practicing Muslims in my family. So I'm like, yo, like, we're hanging out every day, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why do you keep talking to him like that? Like, you don't see that that's hurting him? Problem with my grandmother, you can't say shit to her. So she'll go, if, like, say she calls somebody out their name, like, she'll literally call her own kids hard R, right? This black woman we talking about. So I'm like, yo, why do you keep talking to him like that? Like, you know what I mean? Because if somebody in the outside world said it, we'd be ready to pop their head. Now, her other son dating a white girl, getting called that and nobody beating her up makes completely perfect sense. This is why you don't call your kids that, because then they let somebody else talk to them that way. But anyway, another story for another day. Yeah, so when she was doing that, whatever, we were just having issues. And what would happen is, like, we would get going, you know, yelling or whatever. And my father, not knowing how to stay in a man's place, would always just come get involved. Oh, stop yelling, da da da, whatever, without even hearing what was even going on. There is a spot, sorry. Okay, that was driving me crazy. Yeah, without even knowing what was going on. So I'm like, go back upstairs. Like, what? Go back upstairs. Right? And the problem is, my dad don't like nobody's son in him. I don't know why people fear this man. I have no idea. But I'm telling you, I do not fear him at all. Period. Whatsoever. Like, the little girl version of me that he used to pull up on, beat up, do all these other shit when I was a kid, she been gone. I had niggas beating me up half my life. Like, not literally, but like fighting boys. Like, I didn't. My ex-husband's the only man I think that ever actually abused me. But I used to fight boys, and they would even beat me. But the thing was, I'm still gonna stand up with you. You know what I mean? Like, I still go toe to toe with you. I ain't no little chick, you know? Like, I just want to say this hoodie is making me look a lot bigger than I am. I have actually lost a lot of weight. But anyway, I'm not like little though, you know? So I'm like, what's up? And especially when I was younger, I have 2 older brothers. My mom would let us bang it out all the time. So when I got into like school and things like that, these little boys don't scare me. What you said? Like, I was bad. I was a bad kid. I wasn't bad. I was a misunderstood and very angry child, you know? And the thing was, I hold my anger until I don't. So with him, once it started really truly getting directed on him, it was so extreme. He could not handle it, but he also don't know when to shut the fuck up. So what had happened was, right, this is where I get to the point where I get kicked out. So we have all this going on. Like, say I told you, like, my grandma and him was arguing, or my grandma was fucking with my uncle, and then me and her arguing, him coming down and getting involved, and all this is going on, whatever. Like, one of those times he put his hands on me. My uncle's ready to give him the business. He should have, because after that, when my uncle moved out the house, it was like open season on me. You know what I mean? Like, my dad felt he could jump at me anytime he wanted, whatever. He wasn't stupid enough to put his hands on me other than that first time. Like, and all he did, he gripped me up. But the thing is, this is what pissed me off. He gripped me up. Mind you, I told you I was just all bruised up. Ex-husband just beat me the fuck up, all that. He gripped me up from the back, pulling my arms like this. I am a hairstylist. Anyone that's a hairstylist knows your arms are like this all day. You know what I mean? So for your arms to just randomly go up like that, child, whoo, I ain't felt pain like that in I don't even know how long afterwards. Like, my muscles were killing me, etc. It definitely taught me I need to start stretching my muscles up there a little more. But, you know, like, at that time I was super overweight, super unhealthy. It was like my muscle retention wasn't the way it should be. You know, there was a lot. So that shit hurt. So after that, I was like, yo, bro, I hope you know never in your life put your hands on me. Like, I will kill you, period. Like, and I don't, that's not a threat. That's not me being like, oh, I'll kill you. No, that's me genuinely saying, don't ever in your life put your fucking hands on me. Don't ever in your life think you're gonna put your hands on me. So long story short, we get to the point or whatever where now, like, this has been going on for a minute. Shit been boiling over, whatever. One day I'm outside, I'm arguing with one of my cousins, right? Everybody got that one cousin. So I got that one cousin, and this child of God, no, this bitch, I can't even, no, this bitch, this skinny, nappy-headed, bald-headed, stupid-ass bitch. Yo, this bitch be trying it. When I tell you I never in my life met somebody who can't fight, line up for so many fights. Like, I never, like, shorty got heart, like, for real. Cause why the fuck you stay trying to square with somebody knowing you gonna get popped on? But anyway, so one day, me and her, I was minding my business. I'm outside, I'm chilling, I'm mentoring my little kids on the corner. They like teenagers. we really was just outside talking, whatever. So we chilling. I gotta go back in the house. I think I was going back in. I was gonna go work or study or something. I'm like, all right, I'm about to go back in or whatever in a minute. All of a sudden I hear her come from the back of the house, and she like, all I know is I'm not gonna be the only one putting money into Graham and buying her prescriptions and then I'm like, oh, well, this ain't my conversation. Back to this. You know, we over there talking, whatever. So then I go to walk in or whatever. I was like, you know what? Something's telling me just go in the house. So I'm gonna head out. They was like, all right, girl, we gonna see you later. I'm like, okay. I go walk into my house. She like, oh, so once I start talking, everybody want to get quiet and go. Well, who the fuck are you talking to? So I'm like, okay, this bitch. For the record, this is the half-hour point in filming. This video's not gonna be a half an hour. But yeah, because I gotta give y'all the whole thing for you to even just understand how I got to the point of being in my car. Because I think people really look at it like, oh, she was broke and homeless and etc. etc. Nah, like circumstances really could fuck you up, and it'll be this fast, and then it's like, what am I doing? And I never really talked in detail because there was like legal things going on and all that. Like it got real fast. So my cousin or whatever, she popping her shit. So I'm like, mind you, I'm at an age where I'm quiet now, you know, like I'd rather handle things with conversation and etc. Right? This is how I try to be first. Now the thing is with my family, they be seeing it as me being funny, and I'm like, no, I genuinely don't want to go to jail. Like I have a husband in prison, and the last thing I need is for me to be sitting in prison writing him through somebody else to get him letters and all that. We have enough trouble trying to talk for 15 minutes. I'm not about to do all that, especially not for no bitch. So I'm like, okay, cool, bet. Yo, shorty, you want to talk? So I'm like, all right. I sat down. I said, you got something to say? She like, well, she was drunk. That's when I peeped she was drunk. I said, oh, okay. So this is how this is about to go. Mind you, it's the middle of the afternoon. So I sat down. I'm like, so what's up? You know, mind you, I'm sitting on the porch. She was standing down by the curb. If you know what my gram house look like, you know how the steps, right? A lot of my audience are people from home, so y'all know my gram house. So she down at the step. So I'm sitting on the porch or whatever, and I'm like, so you want to talk? Like, what's up? She like, I just feel like I'm the only one doing this and that for Graham and blah 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 blah. Nobody this. I'm like, well, first of all, let's just be clear. Nobody even asked me. I have not been asked. I did not know she needed medication, etc. Second of all, I'm broke right now, so it's not like I have the money and I'm not doing something. But okay, but that's not anybody's business. And third of all, who are you talking to? like who are you talking to? No, I don't remember word for word how it went, but it was just basically like that was the gist of it. And she just was well, da da da, and she started with like the personal like insults. So I'm like, oh, you got some shit you want to get off your chest. Now when I tell you I got the most hating ass family in my life, like if you know them, please comment below. Just say I know them. Because you know I have some of the most hating ass individuals in my family. Like they can't stand to see nobody do good. Nobody. And it's sad to say, but when it comes to like them and just like, I don't know, they just do the most, bro. Like they just do the most. So I'm like, oh, so you got shit to say off your chest. Because mind you, at this point now, this isn't me just moving in the house. This is a couple of years now. I've been in the house like maybe two, 3 years. So now I got to the point like on my own mini little budget, I didn't turn my grandmother's attic that I moved into like a little apartment. You know, I'm up there working, studio, I'm in college, whatever. Like I don't have money coming in, but this was when I just started really filming on YouTube, taking it serious, you know. So I'm tunnel vision, I'm busy. And then like when I do have the spare time, any of my spare time, I'm sitting outside talking to my neighbors' kids and shit, you know, giving them like motivation. The one to go model, the other one to live his best life, you know, like all this going on. I don't want to put all their life out there, but like they have their own stuff going on. And I'm like, look baby, I've been that angry kid wanting to fight everybody, and you know, like just to prove you could do it at this point, because it gets to a point where you get tired of people, you know, attacking you. So I'm like, okay, whatever, this bitch. I'm like, yo, you got something you want, like, you need to get off your chest, whatever. So she started running her mouth, whatever. So I'm like, yo, first and foremost, I don't know if you ain't realized, but I'm really not fucking with you based off of a lot of other shit that's going on. She did some fucked up shit to another family member, and there's kids involved in a lot of that. So that right there tells you where we were already at with her. Once there's children involved and you did some foul shit, we got a problem, right? There ain't no cool. We ain't kicking it. We ain't kikiing, none of that. So I'm like, second of all, you don't even live here. Like, you don't even live here. Why are you here? Like, what? Why are you here? So she going, whatever, blah, 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 blah. We arguing. Then here's where everything just went to turn for the worse. Because at first I was just laughing at her. Like, that shit was truly funny. It was truly comical. Because I was really like, I think I just smoked. So I was low-key high as hell. Cracking the fuck up on the inside. I'm like, I really wish she would get bucked. Like, that's all I was thinking. I'm like, oh, God, please just let her get bucked. Please just let her get bucked. Now, she knew better. So I'm like, please jump. Wouldn't jump. So then she got this little boyfriend. Now, my cousin got a white husband and a white boyfriend. Here's the difference between the white husband and the white boyfriend. The white husband don't never to get fucking involved. Like, ever. He don't care if we got a knife to this bitch's throat. Mind your business. Period. Like, only time he's ever gotten involved was when she was like pregnant and we was about to jump on her or something, because she has no recollection that you will get beat the fuck up. So he would like then be like, yo, all right, like, come on, like, bitch, are you dumb? They about to hurt you. So he never gets involved ever, right? So then she got this little boyfriend, and I just don't understand where it got lost in translation to him that you get involved. Like, you know how on Twitter they be like, oh, white people minding black people business. Like, I don't really always think that that's right. Some conversations is very called for, and for this day it was very called for. Like, oh no, you in our business, don't do that. So now my demeanor when I'm arguing with a woman versus arguing with a man is completely different, and that's one thing. If you follow me on Twitter, you might notice. When it comes to a woman, I'm right off. Shorty, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I ain't about to do this with you. Shut up. When it comes to a man, I'm like, yo, man, who you think you are? You think you gonna get, you think you gonna intimidate me? Baby boy, I will put you in a bag. You better back the fuck up. Period. That's how I am with a man. With a woman, I'm like, shut up. Like, I don't pay that no mind. But a man coming at me, especially, I think it's because I have an abusive father. A man coming at me, I take that. Whew, and especially now after just being, I think at this point I've come to the terms that I was abused when I was with my ex-husband, and that was something that was a lot for me to take in. So I'm gonna talk about that. I have so many videos I want to do, but like, you guys about to get so many things. You'll be in the comments like, wait, hold on, run that back again. Yeah, feel free to blow up the comments as you watch the video. No problem with that. Like, go and then just keep commenting on your thing. Because I do that on some people's videos, because I feel like, how do you just comment once? Like, I do want to comment the whole thing. So feel free to do that down below. I'll answer all of it, or I like it, or whatever. Figure out, you know, where my content will go. Like, I only know what y'all want to know. But anyway, so he jumps in my face or whatever, and I'm like, hold up. I stood up real quick, like I think I was already standing. Yeah, I was already standing with her, because she did something. She started moving closer. So the way my grand porch is, you stupid as hell if you come at somebody who's on the top of the steps. Stupid as shit. That's how you know she can't fight, because you automatically got an advantage from being at the top of the step, right? So she come at me. She did that a lot. Now that I think about it, I think I beat her up like twice like that. Like, cause I'm short too, she's taller than me. So you gave me an advantage. Like, I'm already thick as hell, and I'm boom, like, boom, like, boom. Wait, how's it go? Like, one of those, okay? So, oh my God. I hate having to be that person. I do, I'm not. I try not to be. But we just keeping it real, keeping it raw. So anyway, she come at me, whatever, and I'm like, I'm standing up, blah, blah, blah. So then when he started and we were going, I was already standing over him, matter of fact. Yeah, because his face was like right here. And I'm like, he don't know. I will knock him the out. But the thing is, this one's never seen me get like that. Her ex-husband, he knows me. He knows me since I was a kid. This one, he don't know me. He knows, oh, Tina, Auntie Tina, Cousin Tina, everybody loves Tina. I got all my babies. Like, he knows her. He don't know who Tristina is. He don't know when I start getting on my shit. Like, when that thing, the wires that be crossing and stuff start sparking in my head, I must black out. So I'm like, yo, who you talking to, bro? Because he was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, ah. Yes, I live in New York. Yes. Yes. I was raised in Pennsylvania, a couple out, like an hour outside of New York. Mad people from New York. Moved down there. Anyway, so yeah, so he talking his shit, I'm talking my shit, whatever. But I'm like, bro, you don't know I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. So we getting a little loud now. This all happened in like minutes. Crazy thing is, I had another uncle sitting right there. This one, he bitch made. Nobody like him. So he's sitting right there or whatever. And then my dad comes around the back. Yeah, he come from the back of the house. All I hear is him like, and this is to the point where I was getting so anxious and so like, when it was coming to him, because he kept fucking with me. It was so bad. Like, I couldn't even hear him cough in the morning. Like, I'd hear him cough and jump out of my sleep, or my heart would be racing. Like, it was bad. It was so bad, bro. And because I was even talking to my husband about it, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I think the more I was accepting how abusive he was, I was getting scared of like the switch to go off, because he'll just find anything to yell and and like, I hated that shit growing up. So as an adult, it was like, I gotta get the fuck out this house. But it just wasn't an option. Like, if I was gonna make YouTube work, stay home for 2 years, you know, whatever. Yeah, so he come from the back, and all I hear is like, oh, blank, you not gonna win with her. I don't even know why you bothering arguing. She just going da-da-da. And I'm like, who the fuck am I doing anything? And literally, he's not even doing shit. She came out and chose violence. I was minding my business. I was sitting in the room on the other side of the street, like there. So I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? Look. That's why I go 0 to 100. Cause I go, who the fuck are you talking to? I'm like, first of all, go in the back, bro. You wasn't even out here. You don't even know what the fuck going on. So now I'm like, she the least of my worries. He the least of my worries. Where the fuck you come from? Because didn't I tell you to shut up? So now he comes from the back. He like, you know what? I brought you in this world. I'll take you out of it. When I tell you, all my brain heard was, I'll kill you. I said, bet, say no more. I walked in the house, literally walked in the house, walked straight to the kitchen, came out with a knife about this big and said, what was that? Now see, when I was 12, I have an aunt. She's still alive, but she's not in a state where she's alive, if that makes sense. So I kind of grieved her a long time ago or whatever, but when we were younger, she used to target me so much for all kinds of shit. Like, I could be like 9, 10, this lady putting her hands on me, whatever. So by the time I got 12, one time she called herself getting buck with me, and literally, that was it. I got arrested. I think I got on probation for that, but they knew like I was genuinely defending myself. Like, this lady is old as hell coming at me. I'm not, and obviously like there's a whole family in this house. They were like, yo, none of y'all was gonna go to this little girl defense or whatever. Is there something on my wall? Or is that on the camera again? I'm like Khloe Kardashian. You know how Khloe like scrubbing the walls and shit? That's me. It was on the camera, like the viewfinder. Anyway, so yeah, I stabbed her when I was a kid. That was when they realized I had bipolar and all that, and was like, okay, yeah, something not right. And I as a kid didn't know that, but I guess once like I started seeing therapists, because once you do something like that, therapists aren't on your ass. They like, you're a baby, like why are you doing this, you know? So, and especially me, like I'm a good student, straight A student, no issues, you know. I think at that point I might have had like a couple of suspensions, but it was almost always like I was talking back to like a teacher or something. I used to get real real irritated in classrooms. I'm still kind of like that, which is why I don't attend school anymore, like outside of my house. I have to be online because I don't like other people's shit. I got enough of my shit and I hate other people's shit. And when I'm sitting in a classroom and people acting fucking stupid and a teacher can't control the class and all that, it don't matter if I was in first grade or cosmetology school, I'm cussing you the fuck out to get your shit right in this classroom, like, period. And when I was a student, like, you know, middle school and all that stuff, teachers would just, like, being a little black girl with a bunch of white teachers and stuff, y'all know how it goes. They say whatever, and as soon as you suspended. So that's basically what my troubles were. And I really, like, I had a lot of issues with adults because the thing is, I just can't, like, I can't respect adults around me. No lie, the first adult I remember ever learning to respect, and to this day, we've been in maybe what, one or two arguments, Melissa. Like, my white girl, everybody know my white girl, Melissa, who used to live next door to me. She's one of the first adults I've ever respected in my life because she's one of the first adults that respected me. You know what I mean? Like, genuinely respected me. She moved next door. She's seen how my family moved and never was like, oh, you're crazy, you're wild, you're this. No, you're a product of your environment. So that's one of the first adults I've ever learned to, like, respect. You know what I mean? Like, truly respect. So when I was a kid and stuff, like, what? Y'all moving around crazy. I don't respect y'all. Right? So when it came to my aunt and all that, I stabbed her as a kid. So now you understand, when I pulled the knife on my dad, my whole family went, oh shit, shit. All I know is in the 2 seconds, because our argument wasn't long. Me and my cousin was not long. It was like, bitch, what? I don't fucking like you anyway. Her boyfriend, nigga, I'll knock you the fuck out. And then my dad, like, that's how fast it went. So when he came around, he said that shit, I walked right. My grand followed me out because she seen me go to the kitchen. I said, a word? I said, I walked out, I came back out, I said, you about to bury your son. Walked outside, period. Literally. And my dad's such a bitch, bro. This dude, you just stood out here talking about, I brought you in this world, I'm gonna take you out. So bro, go grab a knife and we gonna go shiv the shit. Look, I've been watching White Word. But we gonna go shiv the shit. Like, what's up, bro? Pull your shit. What's good? Like, what is good? So I came out and said, what's up? What's up? Nah, what you said? Go ahead. Come closer. And I promise you, boo-boo, come closer. Long story short, he ain't come closer. He pulled his phone out. This is him. We're gonna imagine this is his phone. Look at her. I said, oh, hold on. 911. Wait, ready? Hi, yeah, I'm at blank street. I'm about to stab my dad, so y'all might want to come over here right about now because I'm letting you know how this is gonna go. He's in my face, he's threatening me, he's gonna end up at the hospital. No, yeah, this is Tristina. Absolutely. Period. Call the boys and myself. What's up? Now what? Like that's the type of gangsta I'm gonna come with. Now what? Because before they get here, this about to be in you. So what's up? Nothing. Oh, okay. It was quiet. It was a lot of yelling, actually. It was just nothing I was like taking in. So then my brain did one of those like, bitch, they gonna lock you the fuck up. So then I was like, I'm gonna go take this knife back in the kitchen. So I was like, you know what, y'all not even fucking worth it. Turn around, walk back in the kitchen, because he wasn't gonna get buck. He walked off. He literally moved out the way. So then there was like my other uncle, I think, was trying to get my gram came out, and then I think my papa was coming out from somewhere. No, my papa wasn't there. My papa, I think, yeah, my papa went in the hospital the day before. Mind you, I just saved my grandfather's life the day before. That's what was going on. I just saved my grandfather's life literally the day before. You would think you would have some appreciation if I just saved your dad, right? No. So my gram come out, and of course, she always, I don't know if she got a sixth sense, but it's like, no matter the situation, she will always come out and defend the antagonizer. Every single fucking time. Bro, non-stop. I've never, in the 28 years of my life, have I ever seen my grandmother defend the person that was worth being defended for versus the ones that weren't. The problem is because like they be taught, there's talk. What is it? You got talkers and you got doers. Okay? So they're talkers, I'm a doer. I'm not gonna talk about it, I'm gonna do it. So if you're gonna come at me and you're gonna say you're gonna kill me, I'm gonna kill you before you kill me. Period. So unless you're genuinely about to kill me, I would advise you to walk the fuck off before you get yourself hurt, right? I don't see nothing wrong with that at all. I don't see that as being violent. I don't see that as being crazy. I don't see that as none of that. I see that as defending yourself. I see that as saying, you are my father. I have no other man in this world that's going to be able to protect me. I truly do. That was bottom. I truly do have other men that can protect me, but it's like, I'm not about to call one of them. No, I got you right now. What's up? Nothing? Oh, okay. Cool. So we gonna move on, right? You wanna shut the fuck up? Right? So the boys get there or whatever. I took the knife in the house. Boys get there. Okay. Damn, how did I get so far into this story? This is gonna have to be a couple of videos. Anyway, the boys get there and he started banging. Now, oh, that's it. I also have another disorder. I have a disorderly conduct charge on me from when I first moved in the house. When was this? This is after cosmetology school because I was working down in Philly at the Dry Bar. And I was leaving for work. My dad done let my dog out the house. So I'm leaving, about to go to Philly. And something told me double back. Like, because Mumu gives a really weird, like, when she's panicked about something. So I'm like, what's wrong? And she just had this look like, yo, something not right. So I'm like, mama. I'm yelling for her. I don't hear her. I don't see her. She's like, all the time. So I'm like, where the fuck she at? Turns out he let my dog out. I was about to leave for work in Philly, which was an hour and a half away, to go to work for a 13-hour shift. You let my dog outside? So I'm looking for my dog, all that. I find her. She out by like the highway and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, so I go back to the house. I'm like, yo, you ain't know she went outside? He like, oh, I didn't know which direction she went. So you just weren't gonna say anything. You really just brought your fat ass back in this fucking house and wasn't gonna say nothing. Now, anybody who knows me knows my dogs are my kids. Like, that's like playing with my kids. I don't care that they dogs. I'm telling you, the way you would expect a mother to react, that's how I'm coming every time. So I was like, what? He upstairs. He was upstairs actually at the top of the steps. I'm like, yo, come the fuck outside. Come the fuck outside. Like, nah, come the fuck outside. Now, I'm not delusional. I can't take this man on fist to fist. Like, this is a grown ass, almost 300-pound man. I will bust your shit with a brick now. I will rock your shit, fam. Like I said, I don't fight fair because I never had to fight somebody my size. Like, I don't ever fight people really my size, or like they come. I'll be fighting with dudes and shit like that half my life. So I don't be playing that shit no more. Like, what? No, I would bust you in the fucking head. Like, women, there's a couple girls I fought and I fight fair. You know what I mean? But a lot of my fights are private, so nobody really knows. But like, it be men. You know what I mean? Like, my cousin got a couple boyfriends I done got toes with. What? Who else I ain't fighting? Like, I done fought some dudes. Cause I don't like men trying to use their size. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to use your size to intimidate somebody. Cause the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And a brick hitting anybody gonna do some damage. So I'm like, yo, come the fuck outside. Come the fuck outside. Like, I was crazy that day. Losing it. But like, it was emotions. Like, I just had a dog die that summer. So for my puppy to be missing, what? Like, I was losing my shit, yo. And so I'm like, okay. We arguing, whatever. He called the police. Police came. I'm telling them what happened. And one cop was like, okay, you can go, like, go to work. You know, like, because they do know me. A lot of police in my area do know me. I don't know if that's, like, a flex. But, like, they know me. So they know, like, she goes 0 to here. But I'm truly a good person. Like, I don't ask for shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't ever gonna see me just out robbing somebody, gun charges, drug charges. Like, that's just not even my nature. I don't do drugs, playing none of that. You ain't even getting me on a DUI, bro. Like, when it comes to fighting or something, you gotta read the room, read the situation. I might be the more aggressive one when you get here, but it doesn't mean I was the one causing it. So he was like, all right, you can go, you know, whatever. Another cop pulled up, rookie. He knew. He pulled up, where the fuck you going? Who the fuck you talking to? Like, what? So who you talking to? I said, he told me I could go. No, what's your name? I said, he got all my information. Go talk to your boy. You not going nowhere. Grab me, slam me up on a car and all that shit. So it was crazy. So I got a disorderly conduct for that. So at this point, when it came with my dad, you see, I'm not arguing. There's no argument. So the police pull up. This is how I knew it was some bullshit. Now, if you know my husband and you know my husband's case, it's high profile, especially for my area. And at this point in time, I'm very publicly advocating for him in my area, you know, on Facebook and talking with people and etc. So the police, they weren't really feeling me at that point. So when they pulled up or whatever, they gave my name, because he told me to walk off, which was crazy. I'm the one to call. Told me to walk off, so I'm walk. Oh no, you know, I'll be missing bits and pieces. What happened was, after that, my other I needed paperwork. Like, I fuck with dudes that been locked up. Y'all know this. So you already know the deal. Paperwork. Paperwork, it don't ain't nothing. So I'm like, yo, send me the paperwork on this bitch. I'm like, send me the fucking paperwork. Because this bitch down here, she trying to deny shit and all that. Send me the paperwork. She was like, well, I'm on my way. I'm like, wait, but where are you? Like, I was scared for her. I was shook. I'm like, where are you? She was like, on the corner. I'm like, bitch, how you get down here so quick? So I'm like, shit. So there was a little boop, boop, real fast, whatever. That's when the boys pulled up right after that. So we on the corner trying to, like, you know, act like we wasn't just, you know, we standing there, we like da da da, talking, blah blah. So they over there talking. They like, oh, that's his girl, and whatever. And she violent and she acting crazy. I'm like, what? So they come over and I'm like, yo, bro, I was out here minding my business. My cousin started, turned into words, whatever. The problem is my dad. Now, here's the only thing I wanted at this, because the judge that put the disorderly conduct on me, if any of this goes anywhere, it's gonna go right back to him. And I tried my best to get this man to understand, this is my dad. Like, this is him, bro. What did you just do? Why did he just take off running like that? He was just walking mad weird and then just took off running. Oh, I think he was just crossing the street, but why did you run like that? Anyway, like, this is my dad. This is his doing this. You know what I mean? Like, he gets a high off of this shit. You know what I mean? Especially being, like, he's older. My dad is an older black man. Ain't never been locked up. And never in handcuffs. None of that. So, to him, he's one of those. Like, one of those. So, this is funny. This is hilarious, you know, because the cops are going to come and the cops are going to take care of all of this, and you little hood rat, you're going to get locked up. Like, I'm a lot smarter than that. I knew to call them before any of y'all did. I'm not dumb. Like, I knew the woman behind me coming out this house about to defend y'all is going to call them. Why did I call? Because she was screaming it. So, anyway, the cop walk over to me and I'm telling him what happened or whatever. And he like, oh, you know, what was he? He was telling me I had to leave my house and all that. I'm like, I'm not leaving my house. Like, no, I want a PFA with him. I want a protection from abuse. He's the one that needs to leave. You know, whatever, blah, blah. So they basically, did I stay at the house that night? What happened? I think I did stay at the house that night, and I think the next morning, yeah, it was like the next morning I filed a PFA on him. Yeah, I went and I filed a PFA on him, right? So this is where this is all going from this night, from this day. I filed the PFA. Do you know this bitch went up there to the exact same judge? We're talking about the same judge, Judge Kapora. What's his name? Nicholas Kapora? I think that's his name. Talking about the same judge, magistrate. So he go up there to Kapora. He gonna do the PFA against me. My whole thing is this: if I just sat in front of you telling you this and all this going on, whatever, and you grant me one, you really just let this man come up in here with his big old ass at his big old age and play you into putting one on me, huh? Stupid. So we both get him now. here's the problem. We live in the same house. I'm the one that has to leave. Yep. The one with nowhere to go. No parents, clearly. I wasn't speaking to my mom. My mom was actually on a PFA at that time. Like, this is how fed up with their abuse I was. I'm not no cop caller. I don't do the police at all. I don't like police. I don't let y'all know my name. None of that. You know what I mean? Like, my police in my area are a little bit different. Like, because they're from the area. Now it's getting a little crazy. I don't know where them white boys coming from. But they're from the area for the most part, and they've seen me grow up, so that's a little different. But like in general, I ain't fucking with no cops, bro. So fucking when this is all going on and all that, I'm like, y'all, what are y'all for? You know what I mean? Like, what are you truly for? Like, if I can't even use you for what I truly need you for, what are you for? So when they put the PFA on both of us, right? You could tell it's getting traumatic here because this is the part where I start to like, my brain is like, don't open that. I don't like talking about that. So they put the PFA or whatever. They kicked both of us. We both had to leave the house, right? And it was a temporary PFA. I think it was on a Friday. We were going to go to court on a Monday. Mom was on a PFA. Like I told you, I was so fed up with they bullshit. Like, because I'm gonna end up hurting one of y'all because you're emotionally hurting me. Like, and it was to the point, it wasn't like I wasn't talking, like the saying, like y'all are killing me, literally killing me. They don't care. So I'm like, yo, I'm not doing this anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm done with this shit. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm not doing this with them. I'm over it, whatever. So I was gonna put one on him, call it a day. He got a little girlfriend. I don't know why the fuck this bitch ain't let him come live with her. The fuck, sorry for calling your mom a bitch if you watching this, you know who, but you know what I mean. But why the fuck, like, because she was, my dad's girlfriend was highly fucking involved in this. How? I have no idea. Like, when I tell you she's his girlfriend, but you're not his girlfriend, you know what I mean? Like it's like, you're his girlfriend, yeah, but you're his girlfriend because he come over and he lay up in your bed on the weekend. You're not his girlfriend because he don't live with you. You're not his girlfriend because we don't see you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not here. You're not around. Like, you're not like my stepmom. Literally, like, you're not my stepmom. I claim her kids as my siblings, but like, we don't have a relationship. You know what I mean? So at this point, she was talking crazy on the phone through a couple of her arguments. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck is she talking about? Because you don't know me at all. We've had maybe 1 or 2 conversations in the entire couple years that they've been doing their little dating shit in between her other boyfriends and whatever the fuck they got going on in their relationship. So it was just like, where are you coming in at? You know what I mean? But why you not just taking him to your house? Like, just go to your girl house. Or whatever. No, he had to be a bitch. So that was how I ended up in my car the first couple of days. I packed a couple things. I grabbed my dogs, grabbed some food, whatever. I left my house with $1.04. Y'all talking about Tisha having 7 cents? Baby. $1.04. Thankfully, I had some work that I needed to collect on. I kind of had to be a little, you know, like, I need my check. Not my best moment. But during that time, it was like, I need money now. Like, I'm sitting out here right now. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do. You know, whatever. I was having panic attacks. It was not. Because I knew there's no going back in this house. And if I do go back in this house, it's going to be very short term. And I got to get the fuck out. Because they all just tried to play me. Y'all all just tried to get me locked the fuck up. Knowing damn well he was the problem. Like, they were over there. What? You want to talk about informants? They was over there just... Like, I'm like, what the fuck? They was over there talking about shit I didn't even know. I'm like, I did what? I do what with my spare time? Stop it. What? Like, what are y'all talking about? So before this camera dies, because I'm gonna have to split this into 2 parts or whatever, that is how I ended up in my car today 1. I'm gonna charge my camera and I'm gonna film the rest of this and try to get both of these just uploaded back to back. So if you like this part of the video, give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna take a break. It's been like 1.5 hours. I need to process, but we're leaving off with me in the car. I just started living in the car, whatever. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna talk about court, going through with all that, how that worked out, and then everything kind of from there. So yeah, I will see you guys in part 2, which is like right there. And then I'm gonna go and pray and make something to eat and all that. Yeah, what time is it? I have time between that. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll be back in a little.